Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today. First Raw of 2023. I'm going to try and do them every week from here on out, starting the new year fresh, but started the new year with a cold. I'm still getting over it a little bit. Still got a bit of an headache. My throat's a little bit sore, but I'm much better than I was. So we'll see how long we go for tonight. I'm going to aim for an hour, but I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but we can't review last week's Raw because last week was a clip show, which it still did more ratings than Dynamite, but you know, we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. But last week's SmackDown was really good. We're going to talk about that. Do predictions for tonight's show as well, obviously. And we got, you know, news about the past week to talk about, so there's a lot to get into. But how you doing, Austin? How's your new year been, mate? What colour does Austin, mate? I don't know why you're always asking about the belts, mate, but new year, man. Why don't you focus on something different? I don't know what colour she wants, mate. I'm not too sure. But yeah, tonight's show, Monday Night Raw. Again, 3 hours. Nothing's changed in the new year. We got 2 matches announced, but both matches are title matches. So I guess that's pretty good. But still, 3 hours and you can only announce 2 matches, man. It's like, come on. Like, I thought you would start changing by now, but I guess not. But yeah, 2 matches to talk about. Both title matches, like I said. Might as well jump right into it. Did you hear the John Cena one? Yeah, we're going to talk about that, mate. The SmackDown match. It was pretty decent. John Cena didn't do much, to be fair, though. But yeah, starting off tonight, I don't think they're going to start the show with this, but first prediction, we got Bianca Belair defending the Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss is teasing, you know, going to the dark side, which I hope she doesn't do. Because I don't want her reunited with Bray Wyatt. I am an Alexa Bliss fan when she was the goddess, you know, doing the heel stuff. But when she started turning with, like, the doll, like Lily or whatever it's called, it's like, oh my god, man. And Bianca Belair, I'm a fan. I am. She is really good. But I wanted Bayley to win, and Bayley clearly is not winning anytime soon. I don't think Bianca loses the title tonight. I think the person to beat Bianca might be Rhea Ripley. Now, if they do that at Raw Rumble or WrestleMania, I'm not too sure. Because we got to talk about Charlotte later on. You know, she made a debut. Well, not debut. She made a return on SmackDown, won the title. We'll talk about that later. But I thought Charlotte coming back should go on to Raw and challenge Bianca. But apparently they're not doing that. So, yeah, I'm going to say Rhea Ripley is going to be eventually the one to beat. Let me turn this music down. I can't concentrate. She'll be the one to beat Bianca Belair eventually. Alexa Bliss, I just don't see happening tonight. But you never know. I mean, it's the first Raw of the new year. They might want to, you know, start the year strong, start with a surprise. Who knows? But I'm going to go Bianca Belair. Let me know your thoughts, predictions about this match, though. And then the only other match we got announced for tonight, we got Austin Theory defending the United States Championship against Seth Rollins. And, you know, they've been going back and forth a little bit. I do appreciate what they're doing with Austin Theory. People thought, oh, Triple H just buried him, losing Money in the Bank. But clearly he had a plan. And, you know, US titles being elevated right now because Roman, you know, got both the titles and all that. This one could go either way as well. I'm going to say Austin Theory keeps the title. But, again, they could put it on Seth Rollins. They could. It all depends what Seth Rollins' plan is for WrestleMania. Like, I've heard rumors he's going to be facing Cody Rhodes again, which I don't think they should be doing that. Not yet anyway, maybe down the road, but not straight away. Austin Theory for the win. Yeah, I think Austin Theory will probably win. That's a good point, actually. Because he's already just won it as well, didn't he? I don't think he should play hot potato with the title. And like I said, it all depends on Seth Rollins, you know, the plans for Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. I still say they should run it back. It was a year ago, wasn't it, at Royal Rumble last year? Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And it was a DQ, so Seth never actually got beat, so they could, you know, return to that match if they wanted to. All signs are pointing to The Rock, but we're going to talk about the WrestleMania plans for later on. But yeah, that's literally it. 3 hours of Raw, we got 2 matches announced, but the title matches. Quincy, no. You're timing me, I swear to God. Do you have a clock? You must have a clock, you really do. But yeah, 2 title matches announced, that's it. I'm sure, you know, obviously there's going to be more matches, but this, like, one of my problems with WWE, it's definitely improved over the past few months, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be doing this stream if it didn't, but you got 3 hours every single week, and you can't come up with more than 2 advertised matches. Like, come on now. Like, AEW will announce all the matches, and sometimes they'll announce the segments, which, you know, I'm not a fan of, but still, like, at least 3 matches, come on. At least 3. But nope. That's all we got for tonight. So, prediction-wise, that's all we got. But it's the first Raw in the new year. Raw Rumble's coming up at the end of January, so you know they're going to start building to that. They're already having qualifying matches, but some people, like Kofi Kingston, can just say, oh, I'm inside the Raw Rumble. But was it Ricochet and Top Dollar? They've got to have a qualifying match against each other, so it's weird how the rules work, innit? But they're the only 2 matches announced for Raw tonight. We'll talk about last week's SmackDown, and we'll get into the news of, you know, the wrestling world that we got to talk about as well. Last week's SmackDown started with a Bray Wyatt promo. He came out talking. You know, I do love his entrance, but it does seem a little bit long-winded at this point. He's talking about how he doesn't regret anything apart from attacking the cameraman, which was obviously an indie wrestler. LA Knight comes out sounding like Stone Cold, like he always does. Like, he is, don't get me wrong, I do like LA Knight, but I feel like he leans into the Stone Cold stuff a little bit too much with the vest and saying yeah all the time and everything like that. But he wants a Royal Rumble match with Bray Wyatt, and then all of a sudden Uncle Howdy comes out, which we assume was Uncle Howdy because we never really got a good shot of him. It was, you know, darkness. But people inside the arena took photos. I think it is Bo Dallas underneath the mask. I don't know when that'll get revealed though, but Uncle Howdy is standing there with Bray. But then he attacks Bray Wyatt instead of LA Knight. LA Knight gets outside the ring like, you know, what's going on here? I don't know. And then later on it got announced it's going to be a pitch black match, which we talked about the other week. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight at the Raw Rumble. What is a pitch black match? I don't know. Are they going to wrestle inside the dark? Are they going to bring back the fucking red light what the Fiend used to have? I hope not. But I'm interested to see whereabouts they're going with this. I know I've heard a lot of complaints online that Bray Wyatt's story, you know, it's just long-winded, but he's been there for 2 months, man. He came in October, didn't he? It's only, it's January now. It's just over 2 months, really. So I am starting to see the criticism a little bit, but let's see whereabouts it goes. So let him have his first match back, and then we'll see what happens from there. Because I still feel like he's going to be recruiting. I think LA Knight, maybe Alexa Bliss, I don't want it to, but it seems like maybe he's starting like a new cult family or something like that. So we'll have to see whereabouts to go with that. Obviously the Fiend might be, hey, what are you doing? Why are you sniffing my figures? Quincy, man, he knows. He just knows whenever I'm doing something, he really does. As soon as I start streaming, he'll come up, he'll start sniffing stuff and everything like that. Welcome to the stream, Georgia, how are you? We had Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight, pitch black match at Royal Rumble. It's going to be interesting to see. We had Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman backstage. Oh my god, there's so many memes you can make of Paul Heyman because Sami Zayn knocks on a door, Paul Heyman just sticks his head through. Yeah, that's the Nightmare on Elm Street one. You don't really come across on the camera though. The was it tie-dye or whatever? But yeah, it's a cool top. I got me a long sleeve underneath it though. But yeah, they were mentioning, Paul Heyman's mentioned, like, you know, he was inside the ring with Roman, but the crowd just chanting for Sami Zayn. He was planting a little bit of seed, but then he's like, oh, you know, I'm just wasting your time. You can go in and talk to Roman. So it's going to hurt when they eventually turn on Sami, but I still hope Sami Zayn's the one to beat Roman. Because, yeah, sure, Cody Rhodes coming in, but, like, where's the story, though? I understand he wants the title, his dad never won or whatever, but Sami Zayn, right? It's long-term storytelling right now. Like, yeah, sure, him and Kevin Owens can beat the Usos, and that's still good, yeah, but the story's right there, man. It's like Daniel Bryan in 2013. Like, Sami Zayn, the crowd is behind him. You give them a reason even more to be behind him. Why not? At least one of the titles, anyway. You don't have to beat him for both. The rumors are saying Roman's going to have 2 matches at WrestleMania, so we'll talk more about that later on, though. Put it over your PJs. Yeah, put it over my PJs because it's still cold. The first match of the show was Solo Sikoa versus Sheamus, which Solo won. It was a decent match, hard hitting, man. Sheamus is on the run of his career right now. He really needs to win the IC title. It's the only one he needs. And Solo won with the Umaga spike, what Umaga used to do, so that was pretty cool. No! Quincy! No! Stop! You need too much attention, you, man, I swear. Every time. We had Ronda Rousey beating Raquel Rodriguez or Gonzalez or whatever her name is now. I forgot to change it in there. This was a long match, this, man. It was decent though. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. One of the best Ronda Rousey matches anyway. But towards the end, Shayna Baszler got involved right in front of the referee. And the referee's screaming out because he saw it, but you can't, you know, you can't kick her out. It's not part of the plan. So it's like, did you touch her? Did you touch her? It's like, for fuck's sake, you literally saw her right in front of your vision putting the foot on the rope. But, you know, there was nothing he could do, one part of the script, so... Quincy wants to say hi to me, and you tell Georgia I miss her. Is that what you're saying? Nah, no, he wants to go out. That's what he wants. Later. Not yet. No. Oh my days, man. As soon as I go live, every single time, he just knows. But yeah, Ronda ended up winning, keeping the title. And then who makes the return? Charlotte Flair comes out with a new theme song. At first, it's like, what the fuck's this? Like, her old theme was good. Like, why remix it again? I don't know. But she comes out, she challenges Ronda to a match. Ronda accepts, and at first I'm like, okay, you know, it's just one-on-one. It's not for the title. It's for the title, and she wins. So Charlotte comes back, and on the first night, she wins the title. And people say Vince McMahon's gone. This is a Vince McMahon booking decision right here. But still, like, I don't hate Charlotte as a lot. Like, a lot of people hate Charlotte online, don't they? But she is good. But booking like this, you understand why people hate her, because she just comes back. They're trying to push her as a babyface, and she just beats Ronda. But at least she saved us from a Ronda Rousey promo. That was good. Of course, he loves and misses you, but I know what he wants. Well, I took him out last night, but 2 nights in a row, I didn't. No, Quincy. Why? Why are you like this, man? Why? I've been sat up here for half an hour without you here, and as soon as I go live, here you are, wanting all the attention. But yeah, Charlotte Flair, well, I think she's won the title 14 times now. 14 times, man. 2 more she's caught up to her dad already, and she's only, what, 33, 34? She's not even that old, really, so... Charlotte Flair's a babyface, and she's got the title, which, like I said, I thought it was going to be Ronda versus Becky. They still could do that, but apparently they've kind of soured on the match a little bit. That's what the dirt sheets are saying anyway, which I guess you can understand, because Ronda Rousey is not at the same level as she used to be. And, you know, Becky Lynch is a face now, but then what do you do with Ronda? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. They have spiced up WrestleMania just a little bit by doing this, I guess. Because like I said, I thought Charlotte was going to face Bianca Belair, but that doesn't seem to be happening now either. We had a Gunther promo, and Strowman came out saying, oh, you beat everyone, but you won't beat me. And the 3 of them started attacking Strowman, and then Ricochet came out, and he swung the chair, and I think he hit Gunther inside the head. He was bleeding a little bit. So, you know, not Sheamus, what am I talking about? Strowman and Ricochet are going to be a tag team, I think, which goes back to the whole flippy floppy comment that he made a month or 2 ago. They're turning it into a storyline, just like the Top Dollar missing the top rope. But that Top Dollar, man, he has way too much confidence. I don't see the appeal in him. And that led us to the main event. Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns versus John Cena and Kevin Owens. The first John Cena match in the whole of 2022. And, you know, he looked decent. He had the bald spot, obviously, but, you know, he's getting up there in age now, too, you know. And he's still got the longish hair. I guess that's for film roles, because if he just had the buzz cut like he used to, it wouldn't have been noticeable, really. But Cena barely did anything inside this match, which, you know, he didn't want to get injured, to be fair. And the story is really with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But it was this SmackDown felt like a mini pay-per-view. For the last show of the year as well, it really did. It felt like they went all out. The match started with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Busted nose as well. Cena's getting excited for the tag. Eventually he got the tag as well. They both did the 5-knuckle shuffle together. And Roman and Sami. And Kevin Owens pinned Sami Zayn. So, and I think Kevin Owens also got a busted eye as well. So, like I said, I think they're setting up Sami and Kevin Owens to beat the Usos. But to me, I think Sami Zayn should be the one to beat Roman, man. At least for one of the titles. Because you know the crowd would get behind him if they gave him the reason to. But yeah, that's how SmackDown went off the air. I don't know if we're going to see John Cena again for a Raw Rumble. I'm guessing he will be at WrestleMania, but I think he's filming a lot of stuff in February and March, so it's going to be interesting to see. Speaking of which, we got a lot to talk about in terms of WrestleMania. Big news, first of all. Now, Princess, stop. The Rock apparently is not going to be there. So, you know, they keep going back and forth, don't they? Like, oh, is The Rock going to wrestle? It's in Hollywood this year and all that. But now the dirt sheet, I mean, it's the dirt sheet. Like, they can just change any time, really. But right now they're saying The Rock is not going to be there at WrestleMania. So if The Rock's not going to be there, the next probable choice is going to be Cody Rhodes, isn't it? But I keep saying Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, man. You can still have him. I don't know. I guess you could still work around the tag team thing with Kevin Owens, I guess, but Sami Zayn just makes the most sense. Cody Rhodes would still be good, yeah, if he wins the Royal Rumble, but like I said, the story's there with Sami Zayn. It really is. So if The Rock's not going to be there at WrestleMania, and Roman's apparently wrestling 2 times, why not? Sami Zayn beats him night 1, Cody Rhodes beats him night 2, or switch it around if you want, either way. But that'd be the best way to do it, I think, anyway. Also, apparently it is going to be John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which, oh my god, I mean, Logan Paul, he's wrestled 3 times, right? I'm not a fan of him personally, but I'll give him credit, like, he's decent for his experience level, but John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, man, I don't see the point. I really don't. Like, yeah, sure, they want to get as many eyeballs as they can. Logan Paul's got a big fan base, blah, 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 I know that. But still, even, like, you know what, actually, after second thought, the only way I would actually want this match if John Cena turns heel. If this gives us John Cena as a heel, then yeah, sure, okay, I'll accept it. Because thinking about it now, like, obviously John Cena's always going to have his fans, but even back 10 years ago, the kids that loved him 10 years ago aren't kids anymore. And I'm sure the current day kids, like, he's barely around, I'm sure they know who he is, right? But they're probably more invested in, like, well, not Roman Reigns, even he's part-time now as well, but you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Like, the age gap is, you know, it's John Cena's barely been, when's the last time he was full-time? 2016 or something like that. So I don't know, man. The only way I'd like to see that match is that John Cena turns heel. That's the only way I could see it working as well, because Logan Paul don't want to turn heel, we all know that. Even if people hate him, there's been a lot of reports that, oh no, he wants to be a babyface, he didn't want to get booed, so either you convince him to turn him heel, because you know Logan Paul as a heel would be much better. People already hate him, so you may as well lean into it more. Also, Stone Cold still teasing another match. He's posted on Instagram, right? You know, he's really getting into shape. He's clearly not just doing that, you know, he's clearly he's going to wrestle another match, no doubt. But the question is, like, who against? Like, he did last year with Kevin Owens, and that was really good. But I just go back to it again, like, CM Punk. And that's not me just being the mark for CM Punk that I am. Like, literally, on this roster right now, who can Stone Cold wrestle? Really? You can't do Roman Reigns because he's got both the titles. John Cena, maybe, I guess, if you're not doing Logan Paul, yeah. But I've already heard a lot of people online don't want to see that match, even though we've never actually seen it. But I mean, I guess that ship has sailed as well, really, hasn't it? John Cena versus Stone Cold, that'd have been much better, like 5-10 years ago or something like that, maybe. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now, like, who could he face? And we already listened to this song, I'm listening to it again. That's the problem, like, I appreciate Stone Cold's back, but it seems like, you know, because you'd have done this a few years ago and there was more, like, you know, available people. Like, even apparently WWE officials were saying, yeah, Kevin Owens was the guy, the one guy to face him. So, like, unless you rematch it again, which you can't really, can you? Because if Kevin Owens is going to team with Sami to face the Usos, he's not going to have 2 matches. He's not Roman. So, I don't know, man. We're going to have to see what happens with the CM Punk situation, really. But then again, even if he, like, you know, let's say we live in this what-if scenario, right, where CM Punk goes back to WWE, he's still injured anyway. When he's supposed to be injured, what was it, 6 months, 6 to 8 months, and that was August. Maybe, I guess he could be back in time, but then it goes back to Triple H, doesn't it? Like, well, Triple H wants CM Punk back, like, it's best for business, but you gotta think about the locker room, like, people getting involved with him, who's he gonna feud with. You know, he did get injured twice. One of it was jumping into the crowd, but the other one was inside a match. So there's a lot of variables inside this thing, man, it really is, but that's just what keeps coming back to me. Like, if Stone Cold's gonna wrestle again, CM Punk, man, that's it. Like, who else is there? Unless you literally want to put someone else over, which, if you wanted to do that, you should have done it with Kevin Owens last year, to be fair, but I feel like if Stone Cold's coming back for a match, he's gonna win. Or maybe it's gonna be a run. Maybe he's gonna do one last run. I'm not saying for a year. Maybe he does like a few month run. I don't think he's gonna win the title or anything, but you know, maybe it's gonna be more than one match, which, you know, I'd be down for. That would be pretty sweet to see. And that's the crazy thing about all these wrestlers, isn't it? Like, we thought they were done for years, and then they all just start coming back. Edge, Christian, Daniel Bryan, Stone Cold, Paige. the list goes on and on, man. So it's going to be interesting to see, no doubt. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think Stone Cold should wrestle at WrestleMania? Which leading into that, apparently, again, I mean, this is all we ever get the fucking news from anyway, innit? Pure vodka in that bottle, no. There's water. Why would I be drinking vodka? Straight as well, fuck that. Won't be making it through the stream. Vodka, yeah, sure. It's vodka from the tap. Yeah, okay. Stop, Quincy. Fucking hell. But yeah, they have a new title rumored for Raw, apparently, which just don't make any sense whatsoever, because Roman's already got both titles. Literally, you don't need another fucking title. Don't turn into AEW where everyone gets a title, man. Don't. But apparently there's another title rumored for Raw, and it's going to be like between, what, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre and stuff like that. It's like, what? Why not just remove the one from Roman? What's the point in creating another belt? I don't get it. Milkshake. I wish I had a milkshake. Yeah, I do. But, you know, I can't have one right now, so I have to stick with water. I mean, imagine him literally just bringing back the Red Universal Championship, because all these belts look the same anyway. They all just have the massive logo and it's just a different color, innit? So it's like, what's the point? At least make them different. So if they are going to bring another title to Raw, please just make it at least a different design. At least. I mean, that would be pretty decent, but you know. And then the final thing to talk about, we got Sasha Banks and Naomi apparently going to be appearing at Wrestle Kingdom this week, which is what, 2 days away, I think. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, who knows if they've even left WWE? They're still on the website. Apparently WWE are working with New Japan. They had Shinsuke there, they had Carl Anderson there, so people assuming next week on AEW Sasha Banks is going to be Paige's partner. Oh, sorry, Saraya Paige's partner, but I mean, Tony Khan's dad does have the money to pay for her, because that's why she didn't go to WWE, right? Apparently she was asking for too much money. They didn't value her the same way. So I don't know about that, but I don't know. Like, even if they went to AEW, like, what are you gonna do in AEW? Like, literally, what are you gonna do? Yo, Kushbeer, welcome to the stream, mate. How's it going? I think Sasha is 90% going to be Saraya's mystery partner. See, I think it's even going to be her, innit? Or they're just going to do Tony Storm or something like that. Roman Reigns. Welcome to the stream, Becky. What, you're saying Roman Reigns is going to be a partner? That'd be some cross-promotion right there. Yeah, they'll probably tease it more on Wednesday, but well, didn't Tony do that in an interview the other week where he's like, oh, I can't talk about it until after January, and Sasha Banks' contract ran out yesterday, right? I think we're going to have to wait and see until what happens on Wrestle Kingdom, because they're saying Naomi's in Japan now as well, aren't they? So, and they're going to debut as a tag team in New Japan, I don't know. But again, going back to AEW though, like, who are they going to wrestle? Like, yeah, you could do Saraya versus Sasha, I guess. And he's playing off the history from WWE. I wish AEW's women's division was much stronger, I really do. Like, Shida versus Jamie Hayter a few weeks ago, that was a really good match. Don't talk about Roman Reigns. What, the Tribal Chief? Do you not acknowledge the Tribal Chief? Are you a fan of Bray Wyatt stuff? Personally enjoying it, I see a bunch of people online. I'm a fan of it, Kush Fair, but I can see where the criticism is a little bit, because it, you know, it's been, what, 2 months and he's not even had a match yet, but I am enjoying it, We'll have to see how this Pitch Black match goes, though, because I just hope it's not like, you know, the Fiend used to be with a red light or whatever, like, and it can't be a cinematic match, can it? Because the people inside the crowd aren't going to be enjoying that. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see where Bray Wyatt goes. It's just the wrestling fans in general, man, they're just fickle. Like, what do you think about MJF? Like, I still love MJF, but the fans are already turning on MJF, aren't they? Like, oh, it's the same promo every week. I mean, he does do the cheap heat quite a lot against the local sports teams and all that, but still, it's like, MJF's so entertaining. Every wrestler says certain stuff over and over again. I have a bad feeling about the Pitch Black match. Yeah, it could be good, but most likely it's not going to be good. I'm 27, Becky Y. Who doesn't like MJF? The internet fans, Georgia, they're already turning against him. That's what they do. Literally every single time for the past, what, Well, since it's existed, really, like, someone gets, you know, they're not getting pushed. The people get behind them on the internet. They finally get the push. They become champion. A few weeks later, oh, this guy's boring. He does the same shit all the time. That's all it ever is, man. They are fickle. Like, sometimes they're right, don't get me wrong. Like, if someone's doing the same thing constantly and they're not evolving, then yeah, sure, but your mum's older than me. Okay. There's a lot of people older than me. How can you not love him? He's such a dick. Well, yeah, true, but it's just people complain, and that's what they do, man. I don't understand why they do it, but that's just internet fans for you. But yeah, AEW this week as well. Like, we're gonna do predictions for that, like we always do, but this ain't looking too good either for AEW. I mean, this week they're gonna have a new stage and a new logo, I guess, maybe. I don't know. They're teasing a new stage anyway, but this week we got Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship, which will be good. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. The Vampire Chris Jericho is at it again. Good luck, Ricky Starks. Bryan Danielson versus Tony Nese. Like, what? Who wants to see that match? Because I don't. We got Jade Cargill doing the baddie stuff per usual, and then Swerve versus AR Fox. So what the hell is this card, man? Coming off the last week's SmackDown. Last week's SmackDown was so good. It was like a mini pay-per-view. Raw tonight could be good. Like I said, we've even got 2 matches announced for Raw. And in AEW, I don't know what the hell AEW is doing, man. They've really lost me these last few months of this booking. It's crazy to think about, but it's constant. Like, WWE is all we up here. AEW is like barely trying to survive. And that's not just because of CM Punk. I mean, in my eyes, barely trying to survive. I mean, obviously, they're still doing all right with the ratings and all that. But, you know, in terms of just enjoyability to me, like, Triple H better not waste the Cena match on Logan Paul. Real strong. Same here, Kush Fair. The only way I could see it working if John Cena turns heel. Because if we actually get a Cena heel turn, I'll be all right with it. Because Logan Paul has said he don't want to go heel, so I don't think he's going to turn, is he? Wait for Bray Wyatt to have a match. Yeah, Georgie's having a match at Raw Rumble, but it's going to be pitch black. I don't know if that means there's going to be no lights whatsoever, but we'll have to wait and find out. Brock, Edge, and Cody are going to be teased or will appear on Raw today. See, I think they should wait until Raw Rumble, but they already showed him last week, didn't they, on Raw, so the pre-tape or whatever. Edge could come back, but if Edge comes back, they're just going to have to continue the Judgment Day thing, really, aren't they? Speaking of Judgment Day, man, I love Judgment Day now, especially Dominic. Like, that video from Christmas or New Year's, whatever it was, it's like, I won't survive in jail. Oh my god, he's so funny. When we go watch WWE, Becky, this isn't a live stream of the show. This is just predictions, as it says in the title, on the thumbnail, on this video itself down below. It's just predictions. No full show here. And the show's not on for another 3 hours or 2 hours anyway, so... Get rid of the bottle that's broken and old. The other one's getting cold, man. If I didn't have this one, I'd have no water to drink because the other one's still getting cold. Anything's better than a red light. Yeah, true. I hope they do not make that red light come back again. Raw hasn't been very good recently. 3 hours short to book. Triple H exactly line up and booking Raw Evo. Yeah, that's the main issue with Raw. It's way too long, but... Well, last week was a clip show, wasn't it? But the week before that, I did enjoy. Like, I have been watching every week. I skipped through some stuff. Obviously, like you said, it's 3 hours. It's a lot to watch, but... Compared to what it was, like, a year ago... Like, when I gave up watching it, like, now it's just night and day. It's so much better. But there's still issues, but, you know, it's much better overall. Edge versus Balor in Hell in a Cell at Rumble is the way to go. Yeah, I guess, yeah, because Triple H did say he wants to move away from the theme pay-per-views, didn't they? Like, no more Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So that would be a good match to see, actually. But I just feel like you got the Pitch Black match, the 2 Raw Rumble matches. I'm guessing you'd have a tag team title match, maybe. Will they have time for Hell in a Cell as well? That's the only problem. When's Raw Rumble? It's the last Saturday of the month, innit? I think. Let's have a look. I think it's the 21st or the 28th. One or the other. It's in a few weeks. Fightful Select is told that before WWE regimen changed, there was pitches for Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania, just reported. That would actually be a decent match. I would like to see Cody versus Cena. But I feel like Cody's pretty much gonna challenge for the title, isn't there? I think, especially if The Rock can't make it to WrestleMania. So that's gonna be interesting to see what they do there. Can I tell you a joke? It depends on the joke, Becca. Depends on the joke. That's what I was asking before. Like, if Stone Cold comes back for a match, which it seems like he's going to, like, who's he gonna face? Like, on this roster right now, like, it's hard to. Obviously, I want to see him wrestle again, but Kevin Owens last year was the perfect opponent. I keep saying CM Punk, but he's not even with the company. That's the only. My mind just keeps going back to CM Punk. I want Stone Cold to come back. He did look good last year, though. It's like he messed him. It's like when Shawn Michaels came back in Saudi Arabia, what was like 3 years ago. That was. Shawn should not have came back for that match, but Stone Cold didn't embarrass himself. Stone Cold looked good last year, so I'm alright with it. It just depends who he faces, really. That's my only issue with it. It's like the roster is good right now, but I feel like no one's on that level just right now. Like, Kevin Owens was perfect, he really was. Unless they rematch it again, I don't know. Alright, Becky, see you later. Thanks for watching. Hope Logan Paul's video on the scamming goes wrong, so it lessens chance of him to see, you know. Yeah, I keep hearing about that. Dylan told me about it as well. It's like, is it at that point where it'll affect him right now, though? Like, has it blown up completely, or... You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not a fan of him personally. Like, he's done decent for 3 matches in, but... if he was on the WrestleMania card or he wasn't, I wouldn't really care either way, to be honest. Yeah, he is in excellent shape, he really is. It makes me question, like, is he coming back for one more match, or is it going to be like a run? Like, not a year run, but like a few months or something like that, you know what I mean? More than one match, because he's looking really in good shape. Yeah, for 58 as well, like, holy shit, man. You can tell he's not doing that just for like a movie role or whatever. He's definitely gearing up to come back to wrestle, no doubt about it. Knight versus Cena and Paul versus Styles. You know what? Yeah, an AJ versus Logan Paul would be a good match, but for WrestleMania, I mean, that's what I keep forgetting. Though Logan Paul's got all these fan-based eyeballs or whatever on him, so I guess he brings in some odd. But that, again, I've not really paid attention to the ratings back when Logan was on the show. Did the ratings like go up a lot when Logan was on there, or was it just like a small increase? You know what I mean? I doubt it was like a massive jump, was it, whenever he was on TV? So how many eyeballs does he bring onto the product anyway? You know what I mean? Like, he's got all these followers on social media, but how many of them people are buying the network or the Peacock or whatever and watching the shows? You know what I mean? Or buying the merch or buying whatever. I love Stone Cold so much, just don't want anything bad to happen. Don't want it to be a bad match. True, yeah, but I think he won't come back unless he was confident that he could still do it, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't need the money, clearly. He's been smart with his money. It's not like he's broke. He's not Ric Flair or anything like that, you know what I mean? So, and I'm sure they've already discussed with him, like, you know, he won't be getting into shape. They've already made the plans of who he's going to wrestle. And it's just a question of, like, who is it? Like, John Cena, to me. John Cena right now, on the roster, who you could actually do the match with, it has to be John Cena. My fantasy booking, CM Punk or Kevin Owens. They're the only 3 names I can think of. Because you can't do Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is busy with the titles. If Roman wasn't champion, you could do Roman versus Stone Cold. Because imagine that. Imagine Roman beats John Cena, The Rock, and Stone Cold all in the same title reign. Like, no one's topping that, are they? No one's topping that. Get rid of the Twitch notification. I changed it the other day because it said like I'm live every Tuesday and all that, but I'm thinking about, I'm waiting for Evil Dead to update first, actually. Once the new update's out for Evil Dead, I might start streaming like every Thursday or something like that. Just dedicate one day a week to streaming on Twitch. What's the update for that? Well, all they've said so far is a fucking Pablo skin, but I'm guessing they're going to start releasing like a new demon and a new map, maybe, hopefully. Because it's a new year, and they got to start giving us some new content. We don't just want skins. Hope we get Stone Cold and Rock face off in the Rumble. That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty good. I didn't think about that, actually. Yeah, the Stone Cold might show up at the Royal Rumble. Because he's already getting in shape now, isn't he? WrestleMania's not till April, so yeah, maybe. Rock, Cena, Brock, Stone Cold in the same ring during the Rumble. Jesus Christ, man, that'd be a sight to see that in 2023 as well. I'm down for it 100%. Imagine that be the final four as well. But you'd have to have Cody in there as well, I guess, wouldn't you? Throw Hogan in there, oh my days, man. It's getting him out, that's the issue. Well, getting him in as well, but getting Hogan out, like, you'd have to have a bunch of guys outside ready to catch him, because, you know, he ain't landing Delhi, clearly, no way. Saying you should just do one day on Switch or something. Yeah, it's just figuring out what day, and then, you know, I don't want to stream Evil Dead right now, but like this week, because there's no content, and it takes like, what, 5 minutes to find a match. Like, no one wants to watch that, and that seems like a boring stream, doesn't it? But you just sat there for 5 minutes waiting for a game, so I'm hopefully they're going to update it more. But after watching Killer Clowns before, man, I'm hyped for that game. I'm definitely buying that game day one. So that'll be another game to stream. Didn't think Hogan was allowed on TV anymore. I mean, they've had him on TV since, you know, the whole stuff came out. But that was back when Vince was there, wasn't it? Then I think he ran around backstage apologizing to people, but, you know, people saw through his bullshit, so that was good. But yeah, imagine that. I mean, we saw Ric Flair wrestle again last year, so who knows, man. I think Triple H has got better sense than to put Hulk Hogan in there, but if this was still Vince McMahon's company, it would probably happen, you know. Oh my god. But yeah, Raw Rumble, I'm really excited for Raw Rumble, because this is the first Raw Rumble by Triple H. Same with WrestleMania this year. Like, he's only been in charge since, what, SummerSlam, so we still haven't seen, like, a full year of Triple H's booking just yet. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, you know. I hope he has a few surprises inside the Raw Rumble, because that's the best part of the Raw Rumble, really, isn't it? Like, the surprise entrance and stuff like that. And, you know, we're going to have to see whereabouts we go with WrestleMania. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, The Rock apparently is not going to be there. If The Rock's not going to be there, then, you know, it has to be Sami Zayn. I'm going to say it every fucking week until eventually we know the title match, but Sami Zayn, man. Sami Zayn to be the one to beat Roman. It makes sense, it really does. Storyline's there. It's been going on for how long now? When did Samiverse join the Bloodline? It was like June, wasn't it? July or something like that. Cena doesn't face Logan, who would you have him face? What, Cena or Logan? John Cena, I don't know, man. It's difficult to say, innit? In terms of Logan, I think you were right. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, that would be a pretty good match. Even though I don't like Logan that much, but AJ Styles, well, he did break his ankle, didn't he? But, you know, he won't be out too long because of that. Oh, Don West as well, man. RIP to Don West. That was sad news. That I remember, you know, obviously I grew up watching TNA, and him and, you know, Mike Tenay, Don West on commentary, they were really good. But yeah, tonight's Raw, like I said, literally, we got 2 matches announced. Like, it's a 3-hour show, man. 3 hours and you can't announce jack shit. I don't understand it. We got Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. Like I said before, Alexa Bliss isn't winning this title just yet, and I don't want her to join Bray Wyatt. Please don't do that again. Just don't do it. I think Rhea Ripley will eventually beat Bianca Belair for the title. I really hope Randy will be able to come back full time again. Yeah, same here. Didn't he have back surgery or something like that, man? Randy Orton's one of the best of all time, really is. Like, I did appreciate him for a few years, you know, like, was it 2012? It seemed like he was coasting a little bit, but he really is. He's up there for one of the best. Like, in terms of just overall, what is it JBL used to say? If you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, it'll like Randy Orton or whatever. Like, he really is. I hope he can come back and, you know, obviously he's getting up there in age. He's not going to wrestle forever, but I'd say give him one more title reign. Why not? Randy Orton versus John Cena won last time. Obviously that ain't happening this year because, you know, of his back issues, but I'd love to see that match one more. I know we saw it a shit ton like 10 years ago or something like that, but one last time, I'd love to see it. Why not? Think they're gonna go Bianca versus Charlotte and Becky versus Rio. Maybe. I feel like they've scrapped the whole Charlotte and Bianca, because I thought when Charlotte came back, well, before Friday, I thought she'd be challenging Bianca, but... And what happened to Ronda versus Becky? They just scrapped that now as well. Apparently they don't think Ronda Rousey is as big of a deal as she was, so maybe that's what they're doing. But I'm still going to say Rhea Ripley's going to beat Bianca for the title. Maybe at WrestleMania, maybe before then. Because Rhea Ripley, man, she's getting up there as one of my favourite female wrestlers right now, no doubt about it. And Asuka as well. I've always liked Asuka, but it's just the booking, innit? Like, sometimes they book her, and sometimes they push her. I'd love to see the teasing a new character right now with Asuka. Maybe she's going to go heel or something like that, so that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, the only other match we got announced for Raw is Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins for the US title. Like I said before, this could go either way if they want to, you know, spice it up on a new show of the year or whatever, but I feel like Austin Theory has to keep this title for a little bit longer. And Seth Rollins, I guess it depends on his WrestleMania plans. Like, is he going to face Cody Rhodes? They could rematch Roman Reigns again. Like I said before, he never got beat. Ripley's next big female star. She has everything there is to have in work, look, charisma. I agree 100%, man. Rhea Ripley's really good. Or the hair, yeah, Seth Rollins is not completely dyed it, but he's got the blonde highlights now, yeah. That's the only issue with Seth for a while, like just the crazy, ridiculous outfits that he wears, but he seems to be dialing it back a little bit. It's fried. Yeah, it is really frizzy, especially when he starts wrestling as well. It just goes all over the place. Let me see if they've announced anything else for tonight. Any last minute additions? Let's check WWE.com first. Nothing. 3-hour show starts in like 2 hours. Nothing. What about Twitter? Anything on the Twitter? Oscar has been horrible TV for the last 2 years. Crazy stereotypical Japanese screaming lady, and it's been a gimmick. It's been a shit. Yeah, true. That's the problem, innit? That's what I mean. Like, they've not really. Well, that's mainly Vince, and you know Triple H is high on Oscar, so I'm hoping this new repackage does her good. She's been teasing more of a heel side, hasn't she, on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, nothing on air either. Who's heard about the whole controversy with, what is it, Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Kurt Angle because of Max Caster's rap on AEW last week? Basically, he mentioned, you know, Jeff stealing Kurt's wife or whatever they got together, didn't he, in TNA? And now Karen's on Twitter saying, oh, Kurt cheated on me with Kelly and all this shit, and it's all blowing up, but it's like, all this from a tweet. I mean, all this from a rap. What? Fightful always post a full card about 10 minutes before the show. Yeah, that's my issue though. It's like 10 minutes before the show. Like, can you not announce at least 3 matches like throughout the day? You know what I mean? Like, I give AEW a lot of shit, but at least they tell us most of the matches before the show. Because otherwise, you know, like, how are you supposed to get hyped if you don't know what's coming up? I don't want to know the full 3 hours, you know what I mean? But give me something. What does that say? Is that supposed to mean something, George? I don't know what that means. I'm trying to decipher it, but I don't understand. But yeah, if I had to make a bet about next week, I don't think Sasha Banks going to AEW. Twitter. Yeah, that's how you say it. Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Oh yeah, I'm just seeing a report where you talk about Kush Cena versus Cody Rhodes. It would be a good match. Oh my days. Dave Meltzer, I'm seriously, I'll go in squared circle and just people post every fucking tweet this guy makes. Stop sticking up for the Young Bucks, man. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna keep scrolling, it's not worth the time of day. Yeah, I'm not finding anything new for tonight's show, man, which is a shame. Because like I said, 3 hours. But they're gonna start to build for Royal Rumble, no doubt about it. Trying to think. I think we've covered everything pretty much, man. I mean, we talked about the WrestleMania plans, which, you know, could change between now and April. You never know. I wonder if they do get The Rock back though, because it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It's in Hollywood. Roman Reigns' his cousin. The match is pretty much set up already, man. He would only have to appear like once or twice, promo wise. New regimen shouldn't wait anymore, and SummerSlam 2023 to pull the trigger for Coda. Only be hot for so long. WrestleMania 39 if Rock isn't available. SummerSlam if The Rock is. Yeah, I mean, what were those reports where Roman's gonna have 2 matches one day? I've heard reports where it's gonna be like Cody versus Roman one night and then a Rock the next night, which, you know, that's the problem in it with Roman. He's got both the titles, so it's like, how do you get rid of him? Like, does he lose one and then the other, or does he lose them both at the same time? And I don't care, man. I'm sticking to my guns. Every week I'm going to say this, every single stream I do. Sami Zayn should be the one to beat Roman Reigns. He should be. He really should. The crowd is behind him already. You make the turn happen, the bloodline turn on Sami Zayn. The crowd is going to be so behind him. Oh my days. It's going to be Daniel Bryan levels from 2013. And I know him and Kevin Owens reuniting, yeah, sure. But I feel like him, even if he holds it for a day and he loses it the next night on Raw, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just give Sami Zayn that one moment, man. Really. 2 matches not a good idea. It takes half the build and that's to shine off both matches. True, but also The Rock as well, though. It's like, let's say Cody Rhodes. Well, actually, yeah. I didn't think about that, actually. Yeah, that don't work, does it? Not even about the second fiddle thing. It's like, is Roman gonna lose twice? Back to back? Because if it's for the title, Rock ain't winning the title. Or is it? Like, there's so many variables. That's the question. But if it is The Rock versus Roman, Roman's gonna have to win, isn't there? He's gonna have to. It's just the title situation, man. They've really booked themselves into a corner, really, if you think about it. And you got these reports that they're making another Raw title, and it's like, why? Just let Roman lose one of them. But then it also takes the shine. It's a double-edged sword, man. Either way, they're kind of screwed if you think about it. Like, what's the best situation here to resolve itself? Like, how do you get the titles off Roman? Who's the one to do it? Do you wait till WrestleMania? Like, an Elimination Chamber in Canada as well. I'd take the title off Roman there, at least one of them. Elimination Chamber. It's a perfect situation as well, isn't it? You have him fight till the end, have Sami Zayn in there as well. So yeah, it's going to be a curious road to WrestleMania, no doubt. Like, there's so many different turns they can take. It's not so predictable like it usually is some years. And like I said, it's the first Triple H Bucks Royal Rumble, the first WrestleMania, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. But yeah, this week's AEW, like I said, we're going to have a new stage and lighting, and just Jericho. Like, I used to be the biggest fan of Jericho, even the first year in AEW, right? I loved him, but every single fucking feud this guy has takes 6 months. It doesn't do anything for anyone. MJF, Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, now Ricky Starks is going to do the exact same thing. Like, literally. And then you got Jericho saying, oh, CM Punk's the locker room cancer and all this shit. And it's, Jesus Christ, like, Jericho needed Vince there to tell him no about his shitty ideas. You still love it. Yeah, but George, you don't even watch the show. You don't know how bad he is. You just know the image of Jericho, how he used to be. If you watch the show week to week, you'd see what I mean. Like, this guy, man, he has really ruined his legacy in my eyes, and a lot of people's eyes as well. Like, you can tell Tony Khan he lets him do whatever he wants. He never says no to him. You watch sometimes. What's the last segment you watched with Jericho? What's the last segment you watched with Jericho and you enjoy it? Is it like MJF fun to watch? No, MJF is fun to watch because MJF changes it up. Jericho doesn't. It's literally the same shit, and it's everyone just feeding his ego, and he always has to surround himself with a group. The whole time in AEW, he's never been by himself. He's always been surrounded by a group. Every time. He threw a fireball. Yeah, he threw a fireball at a fucking jobber. He's done that plenty of times because he's a wizard. Oh, wow. A new fucking gimmick every single week this guy comes up with. It's like, seriously, man. And how old is he now? 50 what? He should start be winding down inside his career, but no. He's really, like, he's done a number on his career, really has for me. Like the first year of AEW, like I said, like Le Champion, a little bit of the bubbler, that was good stuff, and it just started going downhill from there. It really did. And now, like, I just know age is just a number, though. It is and it isn't. Like, you know, especially when it's athletic, like competition in a way, and it's like, you know, you're not going to be as good as you used to be, and yet you're still going out there like you are, like you're this hot shit, and it's like you're not, man. You're a shell of what you used to be. And it's the same storylines all the time. You're not benefiting anyone apart from yourself. Literally, that's all he's doing. It's just, oh my god, man. And you got the jealousy with CM Punk. Like, him and Punk haven't got along for years since Punk left WWE. And Punk didn't want to do his podcast, and then Jericho got in a little bitchy fit over it. And now it's like, oh, don't bring Cody. I mean, don't bring CM Punk back. No, he's a locker room cancer. You can tell he's just politicking his way to get the whole company pretty much. Like, he probably even helped Cody Rhodes leaving. I'm waiting for the whole Elite and Chris Jericho blow up. When's that going to happen? Because you know it's coming. Eventually they're going to butt heads backstage. It's going to happen. Stone Cold shit now and then. No, Stone Cold isn't shit. And that's the difference between Stone Cold and Chris Jericho. Stone Cold knew when to quit. He hasn't wrestled, apart from last year, he didn't wrestle for 15 years. Jericho was still there doing it. How are you supposed to miss someone if they don't go? He's literally just there every single week, hogging up TV time, doing the same shit. And plus, you know, Stone Cold's a much bigger star than Jericho ever was or will be. But it's a different situation. If Stone Cold never left and he was wrestling, doing the same shit every single week, yeah, it'd be the same thing, but it's not. Stone Cold knows. Even Undertaker eventually knew. Like, yeah, sure, he had a few bad matches, but even then it was once a year. It wasn't every fucking week like Jericho was doing. Like, if Jericho had one match every 4 or 5 months, it would be different. But it's the fact it's every single week with the guy, man. It's ridiculous. Like I said, he doesn't help anyone he feuds with. When you're the older wrestler, you're supposed to put over a young, upcoming talent generation, but you don't do that. He thinks, oh, you know, if you feud with me, it helps you. It's like, it doesn't, no, does it? Because it just devalues the stock of the person wrestling you in the eyes of the audience as well. It's like, well, you can't take this guy seriously anymore. AEW's still fresh, maybe his career reset. He started in AEW. Who, Jericho? No. Like I said, the first year he was doing alright, but all the stuff he did in WWE, even WCW, the AEW stuff's getting nowhere close to that. When Jericho retires, no one's going to really talk about his AEW run. They're always going to talk about the WWE run. Because that's when he was at his peak. That was his best time of his career. Like, this stuff now, it's just like, what are you even doing? Like, he changes his gimmick every single week. Like I said, he can't even be by himself. He's always got to be surrounded with a different group. First, it was the Inner Circle, wasn't it? Then he had the MJF Pinnacle thing going on. And now he's got the Jericho Appreciation Society or whatever the hell it's called. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, when's it going to stop with this guy? And it's not even just Jericho the only issue with AEW, like the booking as well. Oh my days, man. What has happened with the booking? You know what? We're talking enough about AEW. Me and Dylan will rant about it on Wednesday like we always do. Let's get back to WWE before I end this stream. He has to be surrounded because his character is a coward. His character needs to be a group. But yeah, but even when he's a face, even when he's the good guy, he's still surrounded. So that don't make any sense either, because even when he's still the good guy, when he was feuding with MJF, he was still surrounded with people. He knows, like, if he's not surrounded by a group of people are going to start seeing through the veil. They're going to understand Jericho's not what he used to be. So it's like, if I surround myself with all these other people, you know, it'll distract away from me a little bit, because he's a coward. Yeah, he's a coward in real life as well, man. I hate these wrestlers who just constantly spread shit to the dirt sheets, and it's like, you have an issue with someone who says it face to face. It's like, that's how you should do it. If you have an issue with someone, you should go and talk to it backstage, not go and report to Dave Meltzer so he can feed the little internet trolls, be like, oh, this guy made, oh, blah, blah, blah. He has other people do his job for him, like Top Man and Mafia Gang. Oh my god. That way wears the fedora as well, yeah. I mean, George, I mean, you can like Jericho all you want, man. That's, you know, people still do, but for me, like, he really has, he's done a damage on his legacy, man. I'm still always going to love his WWE work, but Jesus Christ, man. I just groan whenever he starts a new feud in AEW. And Ricky Starks is really good. this isn't gonna help him. Even if he beats Jericho, it's not gonna do anything for him because it's the booking. He's just gonna disappear again. So all the momentum he'll eventually get from beating Jericho ain't gonna mean jack shit when he's not on the TV the next week. He's just gonna disappear back to the YouTube channel where what, half the audience, not even that, watches it. And it's like, this company's going into the 4th year of its existence now, man. How is it they were doing much better programming when it was a pandemic? Was it because the back was against the wall, so they had to try more, and now they're like, oh, you know, whatever? Is that because that's what it seems like it is? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand how the pandemic era was much better than what we're getting right now. And we joke about it every single week, but it's when Cody left. Last year, January, March, whatever time it was, Cody left. All started going to shit. We had the interim title, CM Punk getting injured, MJF, like the shoot thing, you know, being gone for a few months because of money. Like, it's all just gone to shit because of that. It really has. But yeah, let's quickly go down WWE one last time before I end the stream. I can't believe I actually went an hour. I didn't think I'd be able to survive an hour, but I did. Maybe AEW has always been like this. Now WWE has picked up since Vince left. You can all see how shit it is. Yeah, that's what me and Dylan saying the other week. Like, when AEW started, WWE was so bad, wasn't it? So it was like, oh, we'll just accept anything new because, you know, we're sick of this shit. And now it's like, you know, Triple H is taking over. They're actually gearing up and doing good stuff again. And now in AEW, it's just like, you know, which is a shame. Like, I do want AEW to be good. I said the same thing about WWE months ago. That's the same thing. I know it's just switched. It's like, I want both companies to be good. I'd love to have, you know, 2 different wrestling shows each week that I enjoy and watch. But AEW right now, it's like 1 or 2 matches I enjoy, if that, and the rest of the show. Especially the Young Bucks. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, it's never going to be as good as it was. No doubt about it. It's the same with anything, George. Like, even films from the 80s or like horror films, like, you know, it's hard to top what came first, really, innit? But I just look at it as this different style, this different generation now, innit? Like, it's never going to be as good as the Attitude Era, but, you know, that's just the way it is, isn't it? Even, like, in terms of people watching it, there was a lot more people watching it in the 90s than there is right now, but, you know, it's still enjoyable. It's like films these days, like, there's a lot of shit, but there's also, you know, there's still good films coming out. It's just finding what you like, innit, and just watching it, really. Yeah, they do recycle stuff now, yeah, but I mean, everything's been done, hasn't it? Like, what can't you do what's already been done? Like, wrestling's been around how long? Like, there's nothing really new to do, really, is there? People are coming up with trying to be what used to be on TV and they can't do it. I mean, you say that no one would be like, there is some wrestlers who seem like they're trying to impersonate others, but at the same time, it's like, you know, even Stone Cold and The Rock and all that, they took from wrestlers of the past, like Ric Flair and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just, it's been passed down every generation, hasn't it? Like, nothing's unique, and nothing's ever going to be unique again, because everything's been done in one form or another. But, you know, there's still entertaining stuff out there. I look at Bray Wyatt, like, I'm still loving Bray Wyatt stuff. That technically is unique in a way, but it's also similar to like Undertaker or Mankind, Kane. You know, we've seen similar stuff in the past, but he's put his own spin on it. So I feel about writing, gonna cry about it. Cry about what? But yeah, my throat's hurting and we went over an hour, so I think I'm gonna end it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new. Be live again on Wednesday with Dylan for AEW Dynamite predictions. Hope you enjoy Raw tonight if you're watching it. First Raw 2023, let's hope it's a good year. Raw Rumble coming up, should be good. But yeah, until then, peace out in a bit.